Hello, everyone. Welcome to the K-1 Pass-Through Entities series. I'm Dave Stauffacher, the Senior Credit Trainer with Lenders Online Training, where we work with credit professionals, credit analysts, and try to get yes for good loans. I'm joined here today with our founder and Chief Credit Training Officer, Linda Keith. Hi, Linda. Today, Linda, we have a question focusing on vacation. The Cayman Islands is what we're going to talk about. Now, what does that mean about pass-through entities? Let me tell. What we talk about at Lenders Online Training, we have kind of an analogy of a map, right? A vacation as of a sort, going from Canada to Mexico or down to the Caymans. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'll talk most specifically on the personal tax return, the 1040, but the concept is we begin at the top, right? We're being at the top of Canada and working our way down. So we begin down page one that has a variety of items that we focus on. And then we head into schedules. You'll see the little thing, see schedule one. Linda likes to talk of this as the closet. Why? Because it used to be on the front page. Now it's hidden behind the back page. And it has some information there. It has information there that quite honestly is just point of a reference that we're going to go deeper in the tax return as well. So for example, on page one, as you go down through wages, etc., we have Schedule B interest. Makes sense? Schedule D interest. So we're going to schedules to find that. We're going line after line, and oftentimes trying to reconcile what we would see on the first page, whatever that number is. Where is it in the back of the turn? Is it on Schedule D? There it is, and we will circle that. Now with Schedule 1, as we mentioned for the closet, we have a number there, but we need to go deeper to figure out where that is, because the number that's on that has no relevance for us on cash flow purposes. So we kind of ignore that. Right, Linda?
Definitely ignore it. Well, you know, pass-throughs are a little more complicated because everything doesn't flow to the front page like the 1040 does. And the whole purpose of this map is so that people can get interrupted by a phone call, they can go to a meeting, they can come back the next day, and they don't go, oh, I got to start over because I don't know where I was. We discourage them from going to Schedule F first and then C, and oh, D is interesting, right? We say, let's get methodical, so that we don't lose our place. And that's why, as David said, we get to interest, we go to Schedule B, take a look, come back. We get down to capital gains, go off to Schedule D. And then you get down to Schedule 1 and you go off to the closet. I say that because everything used to be on the front page. It isn't anymore. I know, I've just dated myself. Some of you are old enough, though, that you remember when everything was on the front page. Well, it's over in Schedule 1 now, and that's where Schedule C comes in, Schedule F comes in, the rentals come in. So we get to those, we follow them to their source schedule. So this is all about keeping track and not getting lost and not missing things and not doing things twice, all of that. Well, so we get to the pass-throughs, and David kind of let me do this one because I like sailing. Of course, David, you're on the water. You like sailing too, I am sure. But what we had to do with the pass-throughs is everything doesn't come to the front page. Everything does not come to page one. So if you follow the same approach you did with the 1040s, you would skip things. So what we do in both the 1120S and the 1065 filing entities, those pass-throughs, is we still Canada to Mexico, we start at the top, we go to supporting schedules for cost of goods sold or whatever else. But when we get to the end of that front page, we've got to set sail, because there are actually three significant schedules that don't flow to the front page, but that have relevant information. One is Schedule K, the other is the 2 M's, and we call it the Cayman Islands. So it's just a little mnemonic, right? To help our junior lenders understand this front page, which we call the mainland, is the mainland, and then the Cayman. Schedule K will have anything that's not allowed to go to the front page. I'm going to get into the weeds just a little bit in here because I do think some of the people watching this live stream like the weeds. So I'll get in the weeds a little bit, then I'll get back out. But the reason that we have K and M1, M2 separately is that everything on the front page actually flows to Schedule E in the 1040. But capital gains can't flow there because there are rules about limitations to capital losses. Interest income can't flow there because it's used in another limitation process in the 1040. So anything, and frankly, if you are involved in the business, you're paying self-employment tax on what lands on the end of back of E. Well, you don't want to pay self-employment tax on interest income, on capital gains, on rentals. So the reason we have K separate from the front page is that K is everything else that's got to flow to a different place in the next return. Now that's the weeds part of it. For your junior folks, all they need to know is page 1 and its supporting schedules, and then schedule K for the things that don't go to 1, and then the M's. M1 has your non-taxed income and your non-deducted expenses, both of two things that do come in to cash flow. We have another live stream on the 6 N's, which is another mnemonic we use for helping people understand how to get from taxable income to cash flow. So M1, we need some information there that never hit the front page. M2 is where you're going to find owner capital contributions, owner distributions. Those also impacted the amount of funds left in the business to cover its debt. So to the extent the owners are taking out distributions, that money's not left in the business for entity level debt coverage. So we need all three. Those are the places to go. What you do with them, of course, we cover in training and other live streams, but the place to go, front page supporting schedules, Schedule K, and the M's. That's it. David, are we done?
There you have it. The Cayman Islands, a place of beauty. It's a map that we go through our pass-through returns going from the top to bottom throughout the schedules. Look forward to talking with you next week. Take care, everybody.